Dr. Salas' theory or ideas about moral physics is fascinating because he's declaring that there are these laws that exist and function at every level, from the gross physical to the highest level of consciousness, and he's saying they apply at every level, so they're absolute. So morality, Dr. Salas defined, I think, as being one with nature, one with truth, with the way things are, okay? Right? So morality means being at one with nature, with the one things are, with natural laws. It's truth. So, Dr. Salas, can you please tell me what moral physics means and what it is?
La física moral representa la relación que existe entre el hombre y la naturaleza.
Moral physics represents the relationship that man has with nature.
Cómo las acciones del hombre influyen en la naturaleza.
And how the actions that a person has have an influence within nature.
When you say nature, what do you mean? Nature? You mean the forest, or do you mean nature in a bigger way? Do you mean the biosphere, or do you have I think maybe you mean something else?
¿Qué se refiere con la naturaleza?
La naturaleza es todo el entorno que nos rodea.
Nature is everything that surrounds us.
Oh, everything. Okay.
Todo el entorno viviente del universo.
So nature means, you could say, life.
Yeah, life.
All of life.
Life.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it. Entonces, el hombre interacciona, se retroalimenta con la naturaleza.
So man interacts and has this constant feedback with nature.
Por ejemplo, nosotros nos alimentamos energéticamente de la naturaleza.
For example, we feed ourselves, energetically speaking, from nature,
No solo de los alimentos,
not only with the food that we eat,
sino que cada célula de nuestro cuerpo es como un oscilador
but also that every cell of our body is like an oscillator
con una antena
that has an antenna on it,
que recibe la energía del universo.
because it receives the energy from the universe.
Entonces, nuestras acciones son muy importantes porque si nosotros tenemos emociones negativas, por ejemplo,
And our actions are very important because if we have negative emotions, for example,
interferimos con el funcionamiento de nuestras células
we interfere with the way our cells function,
y no vamos a poder recibir la energía armónica que necesitamos.
and we won't be able to receive the harmonious energy that we need.
El universo tiene un tono musical.
The universe has a musical tune to it.
Un tono musical básico
It has a basic musical tone
que se divide en infinitas vibraciones.
that divides up into infinite vibrations.
Y nosotros necesitamos de estas vibraciones para estar vivos, para alimentar a nuestro cuerpo.
And we need these vibrations in order to be alive, in order to feed our body.
Como las necesitan todos los seres vivientes.
And all living beings need these as well.
Cuando estamos en una buena armonía con el universo y con la naturaleza,
When we have good harmony with nature and with the universe,
nuestro estado de salud es bueno.
our health is good.
Si nuestra relación es mala, nuestro estado de salud también es malo.
If our relationship is bad, our health is also bad.
Todo lo que damos, la naturaleza lo toma y lo devuelve equivalentemente.
Everything that we give, nature takes it and gives it back to us in an equivalent manner.
Vale decir, si nosotros hacemos el mal, la naturaleza nos devuelve de alguna forma algo malo.
Meaning that if we do something bad, nature somehow gives us back something that's bad.
Que nos va a hacer sufrir.
Something that's going to make us suffer.
Porque dentro de un cuerpo, el universo entero es un cuerpo.
Because the universe as a whole is like a body.
Y esta es una idea, un concepto atribuido a Hermes Trismegisto,
This is an idea that is attributed to Hermes Trismegistus,
que él decía que nuestro cuerpo es un microcosmo y que es equivalente o similar al macrocosmos.
and he said that our body is a microcosmos and it is similar or equivalent to the macrocosmos.
Si no hay una buena comunicación dentro de nuestro cuerpo,
If there isn't good communication within our body,
todo nuestro sistema biológico se perturba.
all of our biological system becomes damaged or perturbed.
Y nosotros formamos parte de este cuerpo universal.
And we are part of this universal body.
Es como si uno mismo fuera una pequeña célula de este cuerpo universal.
It's as if we ourselves are a small cell of this whole body.
Y esa es la ley moral.
And that's moral laws.
No podemos salirnos de eso.
We can't get out of that.
La moral no es un asunto de buena intención.
Moral has nothing to do with good intentions.
So when you're saying moral, then moral means therefore that because everything is connected to everything else, which is connected to everything else, and therefore what you mean by a moral law is the fact that everything is interrelated.
Sí,
Right?
efectivamente.
Yes, that's right.
Por ejemplo, yo digo que moral es si una persona está parado al lado de un abismo
I say moral is, for example, if you're standing next to a cliff
y da un paso,
and you take a step forward,
cae al abismo.
you're going to fall into the abyss.
Eso es moral.
That's moral.
La moral natural no
Oh, because it's a natural law.
de natural.
Because it's a natural law.
Ya,
Una ley
Okay.
natural.
ya.
So when you use the word morality, you're not talking about merely man's notion of good and evil. You're talking about the recognition, we would say scientifically and objectively, and also intuitively, spiritually, of natural laws of the way the universe works.
Exactamente.
That's exactly it.
O sea, la moral natural ya no se refiere a los mandamientos,
Natural morals doesn't refer only to like the commandments,
porque los mandamientos son optativos.
because the commandments are like optional.
La persona elige si los cumple o no los
The
cumple.
person chooses if they want to fulfill the commandments or not.
Pero en la moral natural no hay elección.
But in natural morals, there's no choice.
El tipo, si camina un paso adelante, muere.
If he steps forward, he'll die.
Eso significa la moral natural, que uno al entender eso siempre va a actuar correctamente.
That's what natural moral is. When you really understand this, you're always going to act correctly.
So you're saying that when an individual recognizes that that these natural laws exist, and that if he or she lives in accordance with them, he will experience happiness. He or she will experience happiness, and in other words, the individual will see that that these laws are objective facts or structures in the universe. They're natural laws and that if one genuinely wants to be happy, then one realizes one has to live according to these natural laws. Otherwise, it's inevitable that one is going to experience unhappiness. Is this the idea behind it?
Sí, esa es la idea detrás de esto.
That's the idea behind it.
Pero es mucho más que eso,
But it's much more than that.
porque estamos hablando solo de felicidad.
Because in that case, we're only talking about happiness.
Pero yo me refiero en este caso al éxito,
Here I'm talking about success,
al éxito total,
total success,
no al pequeño éxito,
not just a small part of success.
a un
Total
éxito
success.
con letra mayúscula,
Success written with capital letters.
que significa saber cómo caminar en las rutas del universo,
That means how you can walk through the paths of the universe,
saber dónde poner los pies en el universo,
to know where you're going to put your feet in the universe,
qué se puede hacer y qué no se puede hacer.
what you can do and what you cannot do.
Por ejemplo, un dilema moral.
Let's talk about a moral dilemma.
Uno está en la selva
You're in the jungle,
y hay dos árboles con distintos frutos,
and there's two trees with different fruits.
uno amarillo y el otro azul.
One's yellow, one's blue.
Y entonces uno tiene un dilema de cuál fruto come.
So you have this dilemma, which one shall I eat?
Pero si uno sabe que el fruto azul es venenoso, no va a comer del fruto azul.
But if you know that the blue one is poisonous, then you won't eat it.
Entonces, cuando las leyes de la física moral sean conocidas ampliamente, que estoy seguro que algún día se va a avanzar mucho más en este camino,
So when the laws of moral physics are well known, and I do believe that in the future this will be more well known,
la persona se va a abstener de hacer cosas que sabe que la van a perjudicar a ella misma.
the person will abstain from doing things that they know will damage them later on.
Por ejemplo, hay personas que les gusta hablar mal de los demás todo el tiempo.
For example, some people like to speak badly about other people all the time.
Pero cuando una persona habla mal de las otras, la naturaleza toma esta vibración. La persona desprende una fuerza, desprende una vibración a través de su palabra.
But when a person speaks bad about somebody else, they're letting go a certain energy, they're releasing a certain energy from their body, and nature takes up this energy that they're releasing.
Y actúa la naturaleza como una muralla en la cancha de tenis.
And nature acts just like a wall when you're playing tennis.
Como si lanzamos la pelota, golpeó allá y vuelve hacia nosotros, pero amplificado.
So it's like you hit the ball against the wall and it bounces directly back to you, but it comes back amplified.
Y nos castiga.
And it punishes us.
Pero no es castigo de Dios, es nuestro propio castigo. Nosotros nos castigamos a nosotros mismos por ignorancia.
It's not the punishment of God. We have punished ourselves out of ignorance.
Y es lo que ocurre en todo sentido, ocurre esto con la alimentación. Nos alimentamos inadecuadamente, vamos a sufrir las consecuencias.
This happens in every sense. For example, with food, if we feed ourselves inadequately, we're also going to suffer the consequences.
O sea, la física moral está presente en nuestra vida a cada instante porque en cada momento tenemos que tomar decisiones.
Moral physics is present in our life all the time because we have to take decisions all the time.
En este mismo momento tú podrías decidir, lleguemos hasta aquí y terminemos esta entrevista.
For
esta
example, right now
conversación.
you could say, okay, this is enough, let's put an end to this interview.
Y seguramente eso traería consecuencias diferentes de si continuamos.
And I'm sure that would have different consequences than if we continue.
Todo, a cada momento tenemos que elegir entre una cosa u otra.
So we always have to choose from moment to moment between one thing and another thing.
Entonces, esto tiene una connotación musical.
And this has a musical connotation to it.
Nosotros irradiamos armonía
If we radiate harmony,
y la naturaleza nos devuelve armonía,
nature gives us back harmony.
pero una armonía amplificada.
And yet, also this harmony is amplified.
Somos generosos con dar dinero.
If we're generous in giving money,
La naturaleza también nos devuelve eso,
nature
de
also
alguna
gives
forma.
this back to us somehow.
Si nosotros mandamos nuestro amor como una bendición a una persona,
If we send our love as a blessing to someone,
la naturaleza nos da su amor.
nature also gives us its love.
Pero si odiamos y maldecimos a alguien,
But if we hate and we curse someone,
fatalmente vamos a recibir las malas consecuencias en un momento dado.
we will receive these negative consequences at some point, fatally.
So in the moral physics, though, there in the laws of in terms of the structure of the universe or the way it works, even love or pure positivity or the opposite of entropy, this negentropy, this purely positive evolutionary impulse, it can be also very dynamic.
Por eso sí no lo entendí.
Dice que puede ser muy dinámico todo esto de la negentropía y que es un impulso positivo en el universo, ¿no?
In other words,
No es tanto una pregunta todavía.
because what I'm interested in the moral physics has to do for a human being the active dimension.
Lo que me interesa de la física moral es la parte que es como una dimensión activa para los humanos.
Because in the way you've been speaking about it, you've been using the word love.
Porque has usado la palabra amor, digamos.
And for example, before you said that there's a law in the universe that you said you can't force anybody to change.
Que tampoco no se le puede forzar a nadie a cambiar.
And at the same time, you speak about the play between entropy and negentropy, between these two forces. So I'm saying the force of pure impersonal absolute love, or which is energy and intelligence that created the universe.
O sea, digo que la fuerza del amor absoluto,
Yes.
que es la energía que creó el
Yes,
universo,
and it can, and in that love, there's also a lot of its manifestation can also be very dynamic,
la
not
manifestación de esto puede
passive,
ser,
but
muy,
very active.
puede ser muy dinámico, no tan pasivo, sino más bien activo.
As we were speaking before, as it's struggling against its own density to release itself.
Porque está luchando contra su propia densidad para poder liberarse.
Sí, es probable porque todo lo que aparezca como una catástrofe o como algo negativo, tenemos dos opciones, o lo tomamos mal o lo tomamos positivamente.
Yes, it's probable because everything that happens that seems to be a catastrophe, we can see it in two ways.
Si
We
lo
can
to-
take it as something that is bad, or we can take
Yeah.
it as something that is good.
Si lo tomamos positivamente, vamos a luchar para contrarrestar eso, para poderlo sobrellevar bien.
If we take it as something positive, we're going to struggle to
Yes.
be able to overcome it. And
Right. No, but for example, in the evolutionary developmental process, even in the universe,
por ejemplo, en el proceso evolutivo dentro del universo en sí,
right? You know, as even even in the creation of new elements,
aun cuando se están creando elementos nuevos,
stars had to explode.
tenían que explotar las estrellas.
So they could so they would have to completely fall apart. So
Tendrían
new
que-
elements could be generated, so they could come back together and become integrated at a higher level.
Tuvieron que desintegrarse las estrellas para que luego pudiesen integrarse a un nivel más alto.
So it seems that the whole developmental process,
Así que parece que todo el proceso de desarrollo,
right, is inherent in that process is conflict.
y que dentro de ese proceso, de manera inherente, existe el conflicto.
Of course, the ultimate nature of the conflict, of course, itself is harmony.
Claro que la naturaleza
And it-
final es la armonía
And the pursuit of higher and higher levels and expressions and manifestation of that harmony.
y el conseguir niveles y manifestaciones más altas.
But inherent in the process is almost a constant state of conflict.
Sí, es bastante lógico.
Yes, it's quite
porque
logical.
And what I'm interested in relationship to moral physics has to do with the paradox between these two opposites that makes up this whole picture.
Lo que me interesa dentro de la física moral es la paradoja de estos dos opuestos que forman parte de todo el dibujo.
Bueno, todas las paradojas son solucionables, son aparentes solamente.
Son aparentes.
Aparentes.
All paradoxes are only apparently paradoxes.
Porque,
Okay, yeah, sure.
claro,
Yeah, good.
porque
Uh-huh.
las paradojas se dan en un plano muy bajo de conciencia.
You find paradoxes when you're dealing with a low level of consciousness.
Por ejemplo, este es el péndulo.
This is the pendulum, for example.
Aquí puede ser entropía y aquí negentropía.
Entropy, negentropy.
Pero ¿qué hay por encima del péndulo?
But what's above this pendulum?
No hay paradoja.
There's no paradox there.
Porque la paradoja es una contradicción.
Because
Sobre el
paradox is a
péndulo
contradiction.
no hay contradicción.
And there's no contradiction above the pendulum.
Entonces, por ejemplo, en la Kabbalah, esto es el mundo de Keter, de la corona.
In
Y
the
por es-
Kabbalah, this is the world of Keter.
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 In the Kabbalah.
Kabbalah,
Yeah.
yeah.
¿Y qué hay por encima de esto?
Right.
So
Lo
what's a-
absoluto.
Above this, we have that which is absolute.
Yes.
Entonces, uno no puede crear orden si no hay desorden primero. Entonces, tú tienes razón en lo que dices.
So you're right in what you say, in the sense that you can't create order unless first you have disorder.
Yeah, but isn't that constant though?
¿No es algo constante?
Algo constante en todo el
Yes.
universo.
Yes, and throughout the whole universe.
Yes, in every moment.
En
And
todo
so it's
momento.
it's that, as you were saying before, it's that tension,
Detention.
which is the nature of consciousness. Is the nature when consciousness becomes life.
Cuando la conciencia se convierte en vida,
You know, this becomes enters into this whole creative process.
y entra en todo este proceso creativo,
It's the tension between those two poles
es la tensión entre estos dos polos
of this absolute position
De esta
that transcends
posición.
duality,
absoluta
right? And this struggle,
y la lucha o la pugna,
right? This evolutionary struggle that's happening at all levels.
esta lucha evolutiva que ocurre a todo nivel.
Sí, porque este principio de polaridad
Yes, because this principle of polarity
se basa en mantener la tensión justamente
It's based
entre
on-
los polos.
is based
como
on
lo-
keeping the tension between the poles. Sorry.
Y esto es
Yeah.
lo que pasa en la relación entre hombre y mujer, la relación de pareja también. La atracción se mantiene cuando los polos tienen la suficiente distancia.
This also happens with the relationship between a man and a woman. The attraction is kept alive when there's enough distance between the two poles.
Si los polos se juntan,
If the poles join together,
se produce una despolarización
they become depolarized
y se termina la atracción.
and the attraction disappears.
How would that practically, what would that mean?
Y en términos prácticos, ¿qué significa?
Que se pierde el interés por la otra parte.
That you're no longer interested in the other
No,
person.
I got to understand that part. But what I'm saying is what would it mean to keep the polarity versus the opposite of it? Like, what does it mean to get too close?
¿Qué significa
For
acercarse
example.
demasiado? ¿Qué significa mantener la polaridad?
Ya, eso no se puede dar una regla general, pero por ejemplo ocurre con tus amigos que tú en un momento dado dejas de ver los defectos de los amigos.
I can't give you a general rule, but it happens, for example, with your friends,
Yeah.
that you're with them so much that there comes a time when you don't see their defects anymore.
Porque
You're with them so much that you don't see their defects.
That's right.
I thought if you're with people, the more you're with people, I thought the more you see their defects.
Sé que era lo contrario, que mientras más tiempo pasas con ellos, más le ves los defectos.
depende.
It depends.
No ves ni los defectos ni las cualidades.
You don't see the defects and you don't see the qualities either.
Uno está todo el tiempo con uno mismo
Because you're always with yourself.
Yeah,
y ves sus propios defectos.
And do you see your own defects?
that's much more difficult.
Más difícil.
Entonces es cierto que la vida tiene que ver con esta oposición de los polos, esta lucha continua en el universo.
So it's true. Life does have to do with this opposition of the poles and this
Yeah.
continuous struggle.
The question is morality. Dr. Salas defined, I think, as being one with nature, one with truth, with the way things are. He was defining it as this is the way it is. If you step off the cliff, gravity is going to pull you into the earth, and you're going to die, right? So morality means being at one with nature, with the one things are with natural laws. It's truth. That's what he means. Okay, so inherent though in being one with these natural laws, the implication is, and I agree with him, of course, is harmony, being at one with the process, right? That's what enlightenment, being one with the process. So, and I'm with him in this. And what I'm saying is that the notion, the notion of harmony or being at one with, always implies the opposite of conflict. Okay, which means if you're in conflict, you're standing against, right? Conflict is right. Ordinarily in the way we think about it. But from a larger perspective, we also realize that conflict is part of the creative process. And to me, to me, there's this very interesting point when we have to even maybe redefine or expand our understanding of what harmony or being at one with the universe or the laws of nature or the way things are, or this or even what moral physics are, even just in the way we think about it. Just when human beings think about morality, it means the absence of conflict and all that. And so when we realize that conflict is, in the most positive sense, part of the creative process itself, I think it requires us to begin to expand our understanding or interpretation of what even harmony means, because it's simple. From one point of view, it's simple, but another, it becomes very complex and very subtle. And in relationship to Dr. Salas's notion of moral physics, this is what I find very compelling, because there's one dimension of it, which is saying that there are these natural laws that exist, and if you awaken to them, if you realize that they exist on every level, you'll begin to pay attention to find out what are the natural laws, so I can find what the way is, in capital letters, what the way is, the path, the truth, and live in accordance with them. But I'm just saying then Dr. Salas said, but there's more than that. He said it's a life of success, of victory, complete. So a life of this complete victory or success that Dr. Salas is talking about implies a kind of dynamic engagement with the process, a dynamic creative engagement with the process that means something more than being in harmony with or at one with. There's a pushing or there's another element to it that I'm kind of interested. Is that
No,
clear? Does it make any
le falta-
sense?
Como que le falta un elemento en lo que se refiere a la claridad
Sí,
de todo esto. ¿Se entendió?
lo que falta agregar es el concepto de la totalidad,
What's missing is the concept of totality,
porque siempre trabajamos con fragmentos de la realidad.
because we always work with fragments of reality.
Las opiniones de las personas son pequeños fragmentos de una realidad mayor.
People's opinions are small fragments of a greater reality.
Yeah.
Entonces uno no puede entender todo esto si no tiene acceso a la realidad total.
So you can't understand all of this unless you have access to total reality.
La realidad no fragmentada.
Reality that has not been fragmented.
Porque si uno se queda en un fragmento y va a saltar a este otro fragmento y va a estar saltando al demás acá, se le confunde todo.
If you stay on one fragment, you're going to jump to the next fragment and the next one, and you're going to get very confused.
Y tú solo puedes llegar a la totalidad
And you can only reach totality
cuando subiste por encima del péndulo, a
When
este
you've
mundo,
gone
al
above-
mundo de las causas.
when you've gone above the pendulum and you're on this world where the causes are.
Yes, I understand that.
Este es el mundo de los efectos, este es el mundo de las causas.
But there's more to it though, because when you go beyond the world, beyond duality, when one goes beyond the world, beyond duality, then the creative impulse doesn't exist there.
El proceso creativo no existe cuando uno va más allá del mundo y de la dualidad.
It's only, for example, when God decided to create the world, he or she created time, right? Created space, and began to manifest and express the urge to become. But in order for God to feel the creative urge,
Para que Dios experimente el deseo de crear,
he has to enter into the process.
tiene que entrar al proceso.
Para que tú experimentes el deseo de crear, solo tienes que mirar hacia abajo.
To feel or experience the desire of creating, you just have to look down.
Tú subiste, llegaste acá,
You're up here, for example.
Yes.
pero pasas a ser un ser de dos mundos.
You end up being a being of two worlds.
Vives en dos mundos,
You live in two worlds.
Yes.
con la cabeza
Right.
en el cielo y los pies
Right.
en la tierra.
Right.
Your head in heaven and your feet on earth.
Yes.
Entonces estás en dos lugares simultáneamente.
Yes.
So you're in two places simultaneously.
Eso es lo que
Right.
te hace mantener el
Yes.
deseo de crear.
That's
Yes.
what keeps up alive the desire of creating.
No, that's true. No, I completely agree. So what I'm saying is, that's completely true. I completely agree. But the perspective is God's perspective from beyond the world
La perspectiva de Dios de más allá del mundo
is very different from God's perspective when He's looking into the world.
es muy distinto de la perspectiva de Dios cuando mira adentro del mundo.
When God doesn't see the world,
Cuando Dios no mira el mundo,
He
no lo
doesn't see
ve,
the universe.
no ve el universo
He doesn't see anything,
y no ve nada.
right? And so then there's no creative impulse. It's only when He sees it,
Es solo cuando lo
He's
ve
aware of multiplicity,
que se da cuenta que hay toda esta multiplicidad,
that the creative urge
que nace este deseo de
for the
crear,
love for His own creation
o el amor por su propia creación nace
enters into the picture.
y entra en juego.
So I even feel from the perspective, if one can say this, of course,
Si es que uno puede decir tales cosas, ¿no?
that even from God's perspective,
Que aún desde el punto de vista de Dios,
that even in that there's a different sentiment
que aún desde la
From
perspectiva de Dios hay un sentimiento
from God, which is
distinto
undivided,
de Dios que no está dividido,
different perspective.
que hay una perspectiva distinta.
So in other words, from the perspective of the unmanifest,
O sea que desde la perspectiva de
Zero,
lo que no ha sido manifestado, de la
void.
vaciedad, del cero,
there's no world.
ahí no hay mundo
There's
alguno.
there's no other. There's no impulse to create.
No hay ningún impulso de crear tampoco.
But from the point of view of the manifest dimension,
Pero lo que se refiere desde el punto de vista de la dimensión de las manifestaciones,
the evolutionary impulse, the creative impulse
el impulso creativo y evolutivo
that human beings, for example, experience at the physical level as sexual desire,
que experimentamos los humanos a nivel físico como el deseo sexual
and when we experience at the level of consciousness
y que experimentamos como el nivel de
as
conciencia,
the urge to evolve,
como
to
el
become
des-
more conscious.
el deseo de evolucionar y de ser
to,
más conscientes,
to become a disciple,
Para
the urge
convertirse-
towards discipleship, all of that.
ser un discípulo y todas esas cosas,
That enters into it only in the manifest realm.
eso entra en juego solamente en el reino de
Only in the
manifest,
manifest.
donde se manifiestan las cosas.
So ultimately, of course, there's no difference. Ultimately,
Así que al final de todo no hay,
Ultimately-
no hay diferencia.
ultimately, but if we step down one, billionth of a millimeter,
Si bajamos un milímetro o
then
mucho menos,
then these, because if we don't step down from the absolute position, we can't have it. There's nothing to talk about,
si no bajamos de esta posición absoluta no tenemos nada de qué hablar.
right? Even the passionate creative life becomes meaningless.
Aún esta
But
vida
when we step down just 1 millimeter,
apasionada y creativa se
That's-
vuelve sin sentido, pero si bajamos un
that's the world
poquito,
that we're really living in.
es el
that's
mundo en
when
que vivimos.
That's the world of the liberated creative soul.
Sí, yo en este aspecto no concuerdo contigo,
In this aspect, I don't agree with you.
Okay.
porque pienso que el absoluto, como su palabra lo dice, lo contiene todo.
Because I think that absolute, as is implied within the meaning of the word, contains everything.
El absoluto está en todo y todo está en lo absoluto.
Absolute is in everything, and everything is within the absolute.
Por eso que se dice que Dios está en todas partes.
That is why it is said that God is everywhere.
Los egipcios tenían el símbolo del ojo de Horus
The Egyptians had the symbol of the Eye of Horus,
para recordar que Dios lo veía todo en todas partes. Los ojos de Dios están en todo.
to remember that the eyes of God are everywhere.
Nosotros estamos aquí con Dios en este momento,
We are here with God right now,
pero a la vez estamos en el mundo material.
but at the same time, we're in the material world.
Estamos con la luz y también con la oscuridad.
We're with light and we're also with darkness.
Estamos en lo manifestado y en lo no manifestado.
We are with that which has manifested and that which has not manifested.
Right.
Y justamente esto es lo que buscan todos los científicos, los más grandes científicos del mundo, buscan descubrir la existencia de una energía única.
This is exactly what the scientists of the world are looking for. They're looking to be able to prove the existence of a unique energy,
Que sería la base de la vida.
which would be the basis of life.
Entonces, primero se ha pensado en los
Means some kind of fundamental.
Fundamental, unique
Right.
energy.
Entonces se ha llegado a pensar en los taquiones, por ejemplo,
So they've thought about the tachyons, for
que
example,
los taquiones se moverían a una velocidad más rápida que la luz,
that they move at a faster than the speed of light.
pero yo pienso que efectivamente existe solo una energía en el universo que se subdivide en muchas otras y eso está expresado también en la teoría de la supercuerda.
But I think there's only one unique energy that subdivides itself throughout the whole universe, and this is also expressed in the theory of the superstring,
Y también en el concepto del universo holográfico,
and also within the concept of the holographic universe,
que en un pequeño fragmento está todo.
that you have in a small fragment, you have
The
all,
whole, the whole.
Por ejemplo, una foto de este tamaño, una foto holográfica,
For example, a holographic photograph of
que
this
muestra todo un
size
edificio.
Yeah.
shows your whole building.
Nosotros cortamos con una tijera un pedacito y sale todo el edificio.
We can cut just a little piece off it, and we have like the whole building.
In my first spiritual experience
En mi primera experiencia
that
espiritual
I told you about when we went for a walk today,
que hablamos cuando estuve caminando,
that in that experience I became aware of three things all at the same time.
con esa experiencia me di cuenta de tres cosas simultáneamente.
So one was that the whole universe was one conscious being
Y una cosa era que todo el universo es una entidad consciente,
that was self-aware. It was one being that was aware of itself,
una entidad que está autoconsciente, que sabe que existe,
right? Whose nature was inconceivable, impersonal, absolute love.
y que su naturaleza es un amor absoluto impersonal.
The second was that there's no such thing as death.
La segunda cosa es que no existe la muerte como tal.
And the third was that every point in space,
Y la tercera cosa es que cada punto en el espacio,
no matter where it is,
no importa dónde esté,
is exactly the same as any other point.
es exactamente igual que cualquier otro punto.
That no matter where one would go,
Que no importa dónde vayas,
one would always be in exactly the same place.
siempre estaríamos en exactamente el mismo lugar.
I agree, my friend.
Yeah.
Y lo muestra la comunicación instantánea que existe entre los electrones.
And this is proven with the instantaneous communication that exists between electrons.
with the non-local. Yeah.
Claro, que se ha comprobado que un electrón se comunica con otro, aunque esté a miles de kilómetros de distancia, hay una comunicación instantánea.
It's been proven that there's instantaneous communication between one electron and another,
Entonces,
even if it's 1,000 miles away.
Eso confirma lo que tú viste en ese momento, la experiencia mística que tuviste.
And that confirms the mystic experience that you had and that you saw at that time.
But it's like it's like the part of in the human experience.
En la experiencia humana es como la parte que...
I mean, our experience of that which is always in the same place, of course, is our consciousness.
La experiencia del humano es de parte de la conciencia que siempre está en el mismo lugar.
Because, for example, I say, well, I got on a plane today and I went from Santiago to New York.
Por ejemplo, si digo que me fui en un avión de Santiago a Nueva York.
From the perspective of consciousness, I didn't travel anywhere. My body did.
Desde el punto de vista de la conciencia, no viajé, solamente viajó mi cuerpo.
And my personality had many experiences in time.
Y mi
as my body
personalidad
did.
tuvo muchas experiencias.
But from the perspective of consciousness, beyond time, there wasn't any movement.
Pero desde el punto de vista de la conciencia, más allá del tiempo no hubo movimiento alguno, no viajé.
Claro, tiene toda la razón porque
Right.
en cierto sentido tampoco existe el tiempo.
Because in a certain sense, time doesn't exist either.
From that deepest part of us.
De esa parte más profunda de nosotros mismos.
Exacto.
That's
Sí.
right.
But in this question, in my own experience, what I've noticed is that there's a part of me
En mi propia experiencia me he dado cuenta que hay una parte de mí mismo
that's always free
que siempre está libre
and at peace.
y siempre está en paz.
And then from that part of me, it doesn't matter whether the universe exists or doesn't.
Y de ese punto de vista no
It's
importa en
irra-
realidad
it's the
si
same to
existe
me.
o no existe el universo, me da igual.
It's one part. The other part
La otra parte
feels desperate and urgent
se siente desesperado y tiene un sentimiento de urgencia
about evolution.
sobre la evolución.
Feels that, and the sense of urgency and desperation is constant and unbroken.
Constantemente se siente como desesperado y urgente para conseguir la evolución.
Está muy buena la descripción,
That's a very good description,
muy real.
a very real description.
Good.
Bueno.
Fantastic.